Game 1, Division S North America. Time for some lulz, baby. Team ReGen going up against Perfect Gems in our first day, for our first game today. We have on the left side Noah on Kira, Porky on Anna, Fons on Deathwing, Hocho on ETC, and Troy on Vala. Arrow build for him, actually, on the map here. Perfect Gems on the other side. On the right side, with Cho'Gall, Unaverted on Gal, D-Rack on Cho, Valamar on Urel, CPX, who I'm still going to call PogX, and you know why? Because I can. On Falstad and Weary Day on Oriel. He always has a bit of a weary day, and then he plays a hero that is exclusively centered around Hope, so a little bit weird, but hell, I'll take it. So let's check this out. I haven't really seen a whole lot of Kira in North America, to be absolutely honest. We've seen it a little bit in Europe, especially Taya, of course, playing the hero quite a bit, but hasn't really had a huge impact in the NA meta from what I could see so far. Might change today, of course. The Cho'Gall and Oriel combo that we have here on the other hand, that is a completely different story. So it's interesting that they got both heroes together, but that Resurrect could, of course, mean a lot in this one. Down to, oh, a little bit of a brawl up at the top, just as I was about to jump to the bot lane. And what is that name? Drutted. There's like one single, it's impressive. It's honestly impressive. One vowel and that's it. Okay, so outside of that though, we have a wingman build for Falstad, so he's going to try and play around this, whereas on the other hand, of course, on level 1, the Kalos Tide and the Taskmaster. Standard talents for Cho'Gall to be taken here. And our favorite Ogre is already starting to take the items here. Blue team has to do the same thing. Vala should have no problem with this. Monster Hunter on level 1, allow her to do that pretty quickly. And we already have her on the point and on the action. Want to get those items in on Volskaya Foundry. It's all about those turrets and those healing beacons. And of course, with this setup that we are seeing right now, is also another game of Cho'Gall against Deathwing. I have zero idea what the track record between those two just now is, but hell, doesn't really matter. Okay. PogX already pogging it away here. And I'm a bit curious to see what kind of build we're going to see here, because on this map and with the setup they could also go into a full-on build centering around the lightning rod, but we'll find out if that's going to be the case or not. But yeah, for now everybody is just like skirmishing around a little bit, nothing too crazy. As long as nobody commits to that healing beacon, I don't think we're going to see a big fight here. Instead it seems that everybody is waiting for the first objective to spawn and to start and jump in. As our level 4 talents. Your pain, my gain. Someone watches Galaxy Rangers. Not quite the same thing, but I mean, it's close enough that I'll count it. Well, Cho'Gall might be in trouble for just a second. Lightning Rod build continues with the Static Shield on level 4. And of course also the Arrow build for Vala is going to give her a little bit more value too. I really hope that Vala in this case actually starts going for... Oh, the bird is down! A little bit of free XP here in the middle. A little birdie already eliminated, and that should be an immediate jump onto the healing beacon if they can get Kira into the mix. I mean, that's a good opportunity. Problem is that Falster can of course fly in, so in this case they actually decide against it. But I was about to say, I really want Vala to go away from the NA meta and finally go into some, hey, we know how to play the game too, sentiments, and go for Manticore on level 16 against Cho'Gall. I mean, you have a bad boy on the other side that is incredibly tanky, and with Urel also in the mix, if you go Manticore and Farfly Quiver here, you're going to absolutely shred those people. And for some reason, NA just hates Manticore. It's kind of the thing that we see most of the time when we're watching the North American meta. But again, level 16 is going to tell us later, sooner rather than later, what exactly is going to happen here. So let's have a bit of a look. Ooh, Deathwing flying in. Cho'Gall may be in trouble, but yeah, can move away. At least in this case, those conveyor belts were kind of useful. Speeds away a little bit quicker, but after we have 56% for Perfect Gems on map number 1 in this best of 5 series, we have Team ReGen right now with an early level 7, and here comes Vala with the double arrow. Can already secure that. 3 stacks so far. Could get another one right here as Valamar jumps in. So it's like, hey, I want an arrow as well. Gets it straight to the face, and that's stack number 4 for Vala. Skyfall is in, and on top of that we have the heal monger for Kira. Alright. Level 7 on both sides, also no boomerang. As I said earlier, there's a chance for a full lightning rod build, and that's exactly what we're getting. And Urel is down, the Space Goat is eliminated. Yep, ETC is now officially part of the Space Force. Taking down the Space Goats, taking those aliens apart, and saving the Earth to fight another day. But, well, at this point, big question is, can they get the kill against Falstad? And Falstad turns into Failstad as he gets dropped at the wall. Nice setup from Anna in particular as she hits the sleeping dot. And off we go. Protector, number 1 in the game. So, let's see what they can grab with that. Normally, transition towards the top. Trying to clean up the wall in the middle a little bit. So far, so good. Anna and ETC are currently in the mix here. Deathwing is helping out top side with the camp that it has to be defended. The Molten Flame is already going to take care of that. And they go to the side wall and just simply says, alright, that fountain is ours. Take the fountain down and everything after that is just a bonus. With the first one, you don't usually get all that much done anyways, unless you get a couple of kills in the process. Oh, talking about kills. Vala down, but at least as she moved away, the item drops on the other side, and, well, Falstad isn't so crazy as to just simply jump in for that. Then again, we're already having Kira on her way to get that. Level 10 abilities are soon also going to be accomplished by Team ReGen. And look at that, sneaky attempt to go for the healing beacon. Okay, that would be a nice item to set them up for the second objective, but he has level 10 abilities. I think that timing sucks a little bit, to be honest with you. Yes, Vala still has a little bit of travel time here, but it's level 10 versus no level 10, and that's always a problem. And if the red team gets out of this one without any trouble, then I would be surprised. So they lose the item, but they don't lose a hero, which is kind of impressive. ETC not going for a mosh pit here. But again, the item is stolen, so it's a loss for them one way or another. It's a little bit surprising that they didn't get a kill with it, but I mean, they get enough. So now we have level 10 on both sides. That gives us, of course, the Resurrect, and also the Mighty Gust. Yeah, this could be a little bit problematic, honestly. If you have Twisting Nether and Hammer of Twilight, I'm just waiting for the A synergy where Falstad decides to Gust at the wrong moment, and the ults on Cho'Gall just simply hit that space, so that's something that we're gonna figure out. Cho'Gall is already getting attacked. It's not really a super kill-heavy game. We saw a couple of kills on the rotations, and of course for the first objective. Now Falstad is down as we have Cho'Gall fighting over here. Again gets picked off in the middle. And that is actually happening quite a bit to Mr. Free XP here. Because this is now the 3rd time that he gets dropped, I think. Yep, 3 times. So out of the 4 deaths on the red team, he was taken apart 3 times, and that opens the wall up now. And therefore, another chance to already take some of these structures down. It's not really a good start for them into this one. But, well, currently, still our one. What is that? The Deathwing dance? Look at him. Who says someone that is like this big and heavy can't be nimble on his feet or paws? Just look at that dragon. Also, look at the big fat ogre up at the top side. Trying to turn it around here against Vala. We're talking about level 13 talents coming in next. And Vala has already started to stack pretty nicely. Was pretty disciplined around it. So now we have 14 for her. Make it 15. Which means that another 5. And she's going to increase her damage output even more so. Yep, there's another one. Brings us at 16. Leaving a little bit more easy damage. And maybe a chance to take... No. Not taking Cho'Gall down just yet. But the next objective hasn't even spawned yet, and they are already looking pretty solid here. So with the control point now about to be unlocked, there's a talent advantage for the blue team. Vala is already at the front, just like trying to see how deep she can go without getting punished here. Goes on level 13 also for the siphoning arrow now. And again, I'm just like sitting here and I'm like, Manticore, 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 whoop, whoop, Manticore. And I'm a little bit afraid that we're going to see Seething Hatred. Which isn't a bad talent. I'm by no means saying that Seething Hatred is a bad talent, that it doesn't work with the build. But if you're going up against this lineup, just go Manticore, get your Firefly Quiver on 20 and take the free win. Talking about Vala though, she's in trouble and she's dead. Our little cowgirl gets taken apart by the big fat bronco that is Cho'Gall. So Cho'Gall already getting the kill together with Oriel. It was actually the whip that hit Vala here. And I always thought that Vala liked that shit, but apparently not. So Weary Day does apparently have a little bit more of a happy day right now. Gets the kill, they get level 13, they have a shot at the objective. Obviously they're slightly behind since the blue team got the lead here. But hey, At this point, we're talking about talents that come in with a Rising Dread and also the continuation of the Lightning Rod build. So 20% more damage on the subsequent strikes here. Also seeing another quick grab on the healing beacon, and guys, they are just spotting items everywhere. They don't give any items to the bird anymore. They pretty much just say, like, dude, look at the stats. You're dying all the time. You're not getting any items from us. First of all, you have to prove yourself. You have to prove that you are someone that is reliable and that helps. And yeah, let's see if the bird can do that. Kira gets a little bit aggressive. I mean, you need to be careful. There's the wall stun. Can they get the kill here? Kira gets a little bit of help. Nice interrupt on the mosh pit, but Auriel is still dead. Can resurrect and does, but has to get out of here. Items get dropped everywhere. I mean, holy hell. This is like a turret invasion that we're seeing. And Auriel gets killed again. Double kill against her. Vala completes the quest. Urel is down 2. And the action just continues as we now have the blue team with 7 against 2 kills. Massively in the lead here. About to grab level 16. And they're already burning down the fort without even the help of the objective itself. And they might go for the kill here. But the mosh pit didn't really connect. He was pushed out, actually. So, yeah, there's that. Manticore! Oh my god, that's a round of applause right there. Amazing. Woo! NA finally picking Manticore. I can't believe it. This is fantastic. This is amazing. I love it. Manticore is in, and yeah, Troy. I mean, look at him. He's my new favorite Vala in North America. Well, maybe not quite. We have a couple of very interesting Valas in North America. Also a suicide Vala. Did he just get pushed around twice after getting slapped? Shogal is sitting there and is like, hey, don't push me around like this. This is not okay. This is absolutely not okay. 28,000 damage for Vala, so she's top damage now. Even more than Gal, by the way. Yeah, even more than Gal has. Now Vala is, of course, going to have an absolute great day here, since now she can home in on Cho'Gall even more so. But as they open up the bottom of the map to prepare for objective number 3, they have everything completely open. Can go for the fountain. Deathwing is sitting at the top, Falstad in the middle, so the 2 heroes can join the fun whenever it comes to real big fight, and it seems like that's going to happen pretty quickly here. Fountain is already down. Vala in trouble. Did Vala get nano boosted? Vala got nano boosted. Okay. Nano boosted Vala getting a... Oh, that's a hit right there. RNGesus is with the blue team too. That arrow connected, and that's another kill. 16 talents now on both sides. But, yep, with the Resurrect, we have a 5 versus 5 on our hands again. Deathwing is still sitting in the middle though. Deathwing is cleaning house. Yeah, he's disinfecting everything with fire. Taking that, they go for Cho'Gall. Cho'Gall, oh no! Oh, he still gets away, but Troy tries to get a little bit of damage in. Oh, and they're actually diving for Cho'Gall, Auriel, and for Urel. Yeah, and there's the kill, isn't it? Yes! Deathwing goes in for the final bite and takes Auriel down. In this case, no more resurrects for now, but items get stolen away. Okay, so that's happening as we speak. That's 2 turrets and a healing beacon in their hands. And they're already pressuring the rest of the map here, pushing out a few more of these waves. We're currently looking at also stolen camps, or camps that are about to be stolen. And off we go. Let me actually take a quick look at the death count. Only Vala has died so far. I mean, she is living a life on the edge. Vala has always been out there. She's living a dangerous life. You only live once, you know, so this Mrs. YOLO girl. Yeah, Monster Hunter, nice talent to have in these situations when you're solo going for those camps. So Vala actually doing a fair job here. Cho'Gall hasn't died yet, which still is pretty amazing to me. They're trying to go for Deathwing at the bot lane. Imbeciles, how dare you attack the dragon? But Funz is able to get away. Not really a big problem for him here. It's still a 2-level lead. 9 kills against 2, 19 against 17. So at this point, you really want to make sure that you're taking that fight if you're the red team, because you don't want to go up against the level 20 talent advantage. So now is the time to shine. Also, we're getting the crippling hammer here on level 16. Cho'Gall actually, in this case, I mean, first of all, we're starting things off with a double back. Then we have the Rising Dread, as explained earlier. And then the Leaden Orb right here. So getting a bit more stuns out of it, but definitely a build that we haven't really seen all that much in North America yet. Has a little bit more. But at this point, I mean, the thing that we're still waiting for is, of course, 20. And the problem is that the blue team is so far ahead right now in experience. It's pretty impossible for the red team to make any moves here. They're losing the fort at the bottom of the map, and they can't really do a whole lot out of it. Unless they're YOLOing in for it, which just seems like they are planning to do. They're not going to get a fight before 20. So they're just deciding to go for it before the objective even spawns. And there it is. This is the big one. They have a big disadvantage and they lose Oriel immediately. The bird comes in from behind and Cho'Gall is down. Ana falls. They're trying to also drop Urel. The Space Goat is also eliminated. And the only survivor is Oriel. So, yep, Farfly Quiver makes it also possible. Troy can now attack from a safe distance even more. In this case, just hammers away the wall, and it's a dominant first map that we now see from Team ReGen. Perfect Gems is a little bit in an awkward spot right now, because even after they respawn, I mean, what are they going to do? Fight against level 20 talents again, because it went so well the last time? Kappa, kappa, kappa. Not really a lot to do there, honestly. That fort at the bottom of the map gets already murdered even before the Protector is taken. They still have 3 heroes down. And it's already down to 40% up to the top. The wall is falling and ETC is not even doing anything because he's sitting tight on the checkpoint and just says, boys, I'm gonna go for that. So as long as they don't lose heroes because they think they can 1v5, they should be in a pretty fantastic spot to end the game right here and take themselves a lead in the best of 5 series against their opponent. So yeah. Deathwing in the meantime is still AFK. It's just like flying around. And here we have Pogex now with a little bit more damage. And there we go. Deathwing makes a reappearance. Boom! There he is. And, well, with 99%, this is really the moment to fight for. So Deathwing is already dancing a little bit on the conveyor belt, starts to fly in and engages the entire thing. There's the mosh pit, gets immediately interrupted, but the bird is dead again. That's a freebie right there. They don't have level 20, and therefore they're getting absolutely murdered. Urel is down already, the Space Goat is dead, and guess what? The big fat ogre follows. So he's now down 2. That's going to be a follow-up kill against Urel if they wanted, but apparently they don't really care anymore. They already have the Protector. They're going through that keep, and there is just no stopping them. Yeah, good luck with that. The Resurrect on Cho'Gall, but I would be, well, shocked and amused if that would change the outcome of the game here. With this, it seems like a very clean victory with 17 kills to 3 for Team ReGen as they take Perfect Gems down on game number 1 of the best of 5 series. Protector and the full team hammering on the core, and this is game. Blue team victorious on Volskaya Foundry, and they take the lead in the best of 5 in Division S North America. Game on, everybody! Off we go! Whoop whoop! Game number 2, Team ReGen against Perfect Gems, and Team ReGen dominated the last map with Cho'Gall against Deathwing, and Deathwing was just snacking that ogre away, but now we have game number 2 in our hands. On the left side, Porky on Valfurion, Funz on Sonya, Troy on Tychus. NA likes their Tychus lately. Noah on Junkrat, and Hocho on ETC again. And on the right side of the map, Anaverdon on Hanzo, we have D-Rack on Johanna, Valamar on Urel, again, because the last game went so well, you know. Weary Day on Ana, and Kelthas gets played by PogX. Alrighty, so here's again his Kelthas, and so far, his Kelthas plays were actually pretty solid. I mean, it seems to be his main hero, if I see that correctly. But yeah, he did a really great job when he played Kelthas in the past. Let's see if he can do that again. I mean, obviously the team has ambitions to get a bit higher there in the standings and establish themselves there, so he needs to try and make that happen. Already the first stack for the Mana Addict. Try to get that as early as you can, ideally for, I mean, in the ideal world, right, for the first objective. But here we go. Kelthas already in play. I think he plays with the Sunfire Enchantment on level 7, if I'm not mistaken. A little bit what we see sometimes from Crystal Gaming on the European side. Whereas, of course, still Flamestorm focus is a bit more the norm. Either way, Tychus is in play here, which is always interesting to say the least, because, well, oh, ho, 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 Hanzo! Yeah, get wrecked, buddy. Hanzo with his little hipster beard got eliminated and can now shove that bow where the sun doesn't shine. I don't know, am I the only one that is oddly satisfied whenever Hanzo gets killed, whenever there's Hanzo dying on the map? I mean, there's like this gratifying feeling, I don't know. I have the problem that sometimes happens to me even if the Hanzo on my team dies, and I'm just always like, yeah, I shouldn't really be happy about it, but I can't be mad about it either. So, yeah, it's weird. But either way, at this point, we have, with level 1 talents, quests already going in there. And yeah, there's another attack with ETC already securing that side. If that gravity lapse hits him, he is in a bit of trouble, because that stun against Johanna saved him from getting condemned. There's also a quick grab. Like, grabbing your own camp is not only important because you want to have it push your lane, but also because it saves your own fountain from any kind of fountain backdoor shenanigans. There is, again, the bigger they are. It is the standard talents, guys. Oh, one of the frustrating things of commentating heroes on a high level is that whenever you have someone from Plastic and Wood League commentating on any of the videos and telling you about their build, my build is the best one. If just the pros would use that build, it's so fantastic, and the results that I have in Bronze 5 are amazing. And the amount of people that have actually, whenever Tychus was played, advocated to drop the bigger they are because you can't get any damage in after a while is just staggering. You honestly, you stop believing in humanity after that happens. I mean, then again, if you read YouTube comments too much, then you stop believing in humanity's chances either way. I mean, David had a point, and so there's that. But still, I like it that we have on the North American side, even in the Division S League over here, people immediately acknowledging that the bigger they are is the way to go. Get that burst in, get that snipe, follow up on a stun, and then just like drop the target, get a little bit of Sonya action in with a little bit of a slam and bam, and off we go. But right now, with the bigger they are in play, we have actually seen a second death on Hanzo even, so the little Bowmaster is also being taken down. And the camp was stolen, so they didn't really anchor that too well. But now 34, I mean, they have 34 already minions, and that is pretty much a clear victory on the first objective for the blue team. They're just continuing where they started on map number 1. I don't know what to say here. Yeah, followed behind the walls, that worked. Honestly, it would have been pretty incredible if Hochu was able to just stun out Johanna for a second and trigger the Punisher jump in front of the wall because of that. But they baited over, and now they can easily defend. Shouldn't really be a... Oh, that was a nice one. Double Gravity Labs. Hello, sir. Khaldor with a nice connect. Level 7 talents now. The spin to win build continues with a life funnel after Hurricane. But the Punisher is down. Punisher's down, and with that, they have now the duty to soak level 7, which should happen in just a moment. There it is. And we're off to the races. Even talents again, so there's a little bit of a chance. And as expected, the Sunfire Enchantment on level 7. Oh, Hanzo. Hanzo. Unaverted, you need to be a little bit careful there. Yeah, and you still need to be careful. I mean, he wants to kill, you can tell, but that's the third death of him. And he even made it into the tower range. I mean, honestly, that one... Yeah, he not only was it more or less telegraphed that would happen, now Khaldor dies too, but they did everything. They sent them a text message, they called it out, they sent them some snail mail, and they just said, hey guys, Hanzo's gonna overextend, let's punish that bro. So now it's 5 kills against 0, and it is hammer time. Team ReGen is the hammer, and there's a lot of nails on the side of Perfect Gems to get hammered into the ground. Not really the game that the red team was really hoping for, because, I mean, again, this is a best of 5, but you don't want to fall behind too much, so I don't know. We'll actually see how this is gonna work out now. Bot lane, there we go. Porky and the boys have already taken down the fort. Can't forget about that fountain, exactly, ping it baby, ping it. So fountain gets pinged, fountain gets destroyed, now we have nearly level 10. And up to the top, there's still Khaldor. There's the connect, nicely done. Condemn, okay. Sonya, bit of spin to win action. And here's the level 10 abilities, which in this case give us also the Wrath of the Berserker. Ladies, I'm confused. What's happening here? These are nearly normal heroic abilities. Actually, these are normal heroic abilities. Again, Europe would most likely not go into the Twilight Dream. Yes, it is still a viable talent on Malfurion and gets also picked in Europe, but Europe still has more of a boner for Tranquility, and for good reason. The sustain is kind of nice, but of course you can still take Twilight Dream. But is this really North America? Where's Leap? Where's the drill? Normal talents, I like it. Okay, so let's see what we get on the other side. With level 10, I would like the blue team to be a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, steal that shit away. Come on, you got enough time. At least if you make a play, which they don't, they wait a bit long. So maybe they can go for the Space Goat. Space Goat rides in on her little chocobo. That doesn't really happen. Alright, top side. Now let's go. 5 kills against 0. I'm a little bit confused by the fact that they just wait for level 10 on the other side. They could have stolen their Shaman Camp, 100%. And there it is! The Pyroblast! Okay. Of course. Of course, of course. Pyroblast comes in, and let's see how much value they're gonna get with this. Ooh, the arrow. Yeah. Arrow completely dodged out. It was a nice attempt at a quick connect, but now that the Shrine's active, that's an ult that is missing, and that's actually an impactful one. Always a nice stun, especially if you follow up on anything. So everybody is starting to jump topside, Sonya included, as she starts to rotate in. There's the slide, there's the push. Out of the Malfurion route, by the way. Not really the best timing on the blue team side, but I like that they even think about the synergy between the two heroes here. So in we go. With that, we're just gonna wait for that Pyroblast and see what they can actually pull off with that. A little bit of pyro action here. To be fair, I mean, on the other side, there's not really that many heroes that can do too much about it. So we're gonna see some pogging around here maybe, but there comes Odin now too. And we're already looking at 12 stacks versus 8, so the lead definitely goes to the blue team, and they're trying to get a little bit more here. There's the setup against Urel, and the Space Goat is dead again. Okay, that one's my fault, but yeah, that seems pretty much what happens right there. Okay, so now that the blue team is just apparently smoking weed the entire time because they are having some trouble. Oh, the Pyroblast! Value! Whoop, whoop. There we go. The Reptire! The double kill, the triple kill. Down they go. Easy peasy. Yeah, easy kill against them, and nicely done. So now we have 9 kills against 1. And yeah. I'm amazed! Pyroblast get value, and yes, they died afterwards, but hey, you got the kill. So that's more than we can usually expect from this one. So now we have the move straight up through the top with the second Punisher. They already took the fort down. Oh my god, the triple gravity lapse. Calm down! 14 stacks only, by the way, for Khaldor on his level 1, which is definitely a huge problem for him right now. So that means that at this point, we don't have him with a shield yet. He's lacking the sustain in a lot of these fights. And that's a pretty big issue. 9 kills against 1. And again, that 1 kill comes at the kudos of a Pyroblast getting dropped, so that's something. Yeah, with this now, rotation straight through the middle. And, well, let's see what we're gonna get here. Already a bit of an approach towards that camp, straight up through the mid. And, well, let's see what we're gonna get with this one. Yeah, Khaldor gets taken apart. Fountain is already dead, so they don't have to actually send anything over here. So they just get a bit of pressure going. They still have the lead in experience, but of course that talent advantage that they had until a second ago is now gone. And that means a chance to fight for perfect gems. Rotation down to the bottom of the map is happening. Noah's sitting there, Troy is sitting there too. Johanna gets booped away from the mine, but ETC gets caught, and Pyro value. Nano boosted Pyroblast doesn't connect because the target is dead. I mean, again, I think I've seen one game so far in Europe where Pyroblast got absolutely mad value. I think I got 3 kills or so. But outside of that, Pyroblast, most of the time when you see it, it just doesn't do jack shit for you. Either you Pyroblast a target that is going to die anyways, or is already dead by the time the Pyroblast arrives, or there's just simply a shield or a trade and cooldowns, and then you really don't get a lot out of it. So in this case, that was a perfect example for that. We're having the entire move now through the middle, through the bottom lane, where the red team is trying to get a bit more aggressive and fight back, but top side, that's where the experience is currently gathered for the blue team in their attempt to get level 16, and Urel, hello? Urel needs to be careful, and Urel actually is going to lose out on quite a lot here. The problem is that the keep is also starting to lose experience. Okay, there's a quick move, and that's nearly a kill. Wow. Valama needs to be careful. He wants to take, of course, the catapult apart, but he needs to be really cautious. Starts to jump over as Sonya realizes that she should probably get away here. Yeah, there's the blessed shield, there's the aggression, and Sonya spin to win. The arrow doesn't connect with anything. Here's the mosh pit. That could be the kill against Khaldor again. Might even look for another pyro if the fight lasts a little bit longer. Still on cooldown for now, but there's the Riptire. Khaldor is still alive, but the team got battered quite a bit during that engage, so they can't get the gank up against Sonya. And now they're going to lose their camp here. Camp is about to be lost. Titan Grenade is now also in on level 16 with the Nerves of Steel, which were quite helpful in that last attempt. And as they steal the camp away, the red team is saying like, not today! Pyroblast comes in. Oh, that's value. That's value right there. I can feel it. Value Blast. The camp, they even take the camp. Value Blast against Junkrat, and I take everything back. Actually, no, I don't, but Phoenix is still better. But at least in this game, he gets a little bit of value out of this one. So, if we go, ETC trying to rush away. I think the GOAT is going to chase him down eventually. Hoppity hop, baby. And, nice! Perfect move by Hocho. Pushing Urel back, and at this point, they're just saying, okay, screw it, we're going to go for the objective instead. Because, let's not forget that there's 30 points already on the progression for Team ReGen, as they're trying to get the next Punisher here. But the red team is at least fighting back right now. I mean, they're trying. They got a couple of kills under their belt, and now they're aiming for a bit more. If they can also now get the Punisher, that would be great, especially since they have camps pushing through the top, so that falls in a bit of trouble too. Arrow connects, first one I might add. Unaverted, therefore, is able to get the stun through, but Malfurion reacts immediately. Arcane Punisher gets still claimed by the blue team, and they're, of course, still ahead by a talent in multiple levels. So now they're trying to move through the bottom of the map to drop a keep and maybe even get a few more heroes killed. That wall is already gone, which is a big deal here. And in we go. That's our little jump. And hoppity hop. Sonya is already sitting at the side, trying to get a connect, follow up on the Punisher stun. And here we have also Odin once again. Going straight in for the bad boy and trying to burn those down. I mean, the keep is gone. Keep is gone. Top fort, by the way, has fallen. The camp has done its job. But down here, the problem is that you might even lose the game itself. And there's the aggression, there's the hits, and that's a catapult already eliminated. Malfurion is dead though, so the blue team just lost a hero. And that might force them to jump back in this one. And indeed, that's the case. Now that Hanzo is dead again, we at least have the aggression against ETC. Ocho is trying to see if he can maybe make it out after all. But I think this time they want him. Okay. Are you fucking serious? You gotta be kidding me! Like, he is still alive and they killed 2 heroes! Finally! Finally he's dead! I can't believe that this guy is just able to survive through every single gank they set up against him. He got 2 kills as a result of them attempting to chase him. That is insane. Great timings from him, and honestly a very good example of how much value you can get out of a hero if you don't just simply spam your abilities because they are ready, but wait for a good moment. The face melts that he just pulled through were fantastic against Urel and other heroes there, so really good job by him. A lot of interrupts, and then he gets the mosh pit through as well. Absolutely insane. 12 kills against 5 now, and they're starting to absolutely crush this. Okay. Top lane gets now attacked. And yep, with this, we have a very, very quick move over to the campsite. Yeah, obviously hoping for level 20 at this point. That's the ideal setup that they want. We have 38,000 not only for Tigers, but also for Hanzo in terms of damage output. Khaldor is sitting at 31. Hanzo has died 5 times in this game, I might add. Definitely a little bit too much. Gets locked down quite a lot. Kel'Thas has also died 3 times. Already pressure at the bottom of the map now. But Kel'Thas is now done with his level 1 quest. Has been for a little bit, so that at least helps. Malfurion, by the way, also only sitting on 7 stacks. I expected him to be a bit higher, especially since I thought that they would go way more for an ETC into Malfurion root combo. But that hasn't really been as persistent as I expected it to be. Okay. There's the setup against Johanna, and gets the Iron Skin in. Yeah, that was a bit nasty. Being silenced by Malfurion definitely didn't help her survivability. Talking about survivability, it seems like Hanzo might have none. He gets saved from the rest of the team, but they have to use a lot of cooldowns in order to make that work. D-Rek in particular had to use the Johanna ult to keep him alive here. Urel jumps back in, but there's also the Riptire. And they're still trying to get a bit of value. Don't get too much here, but the mosh pit catches her again. They're trying to push her back in, but that didn't work. And Johanna is really towing the line. And that is a kill. Yeah, look at it. The nano boost on Kel'Thas makes it possible. Yep. Who knew? Honestly, who knew? With a good old nano boost, you can even make a Pyroblast useful. Could do the same thing, of course, with Phoenix, but hey. Level 20. And we have Ignore Pain, the Cannonball, the Bolt of the Storm. Commandeer Odin would be a good choice now as well, of course. And already at the bot lane, ping, 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 ping. Are they trying to backdoor this? I mean, the core is down to 73% now because of all of the action that we've seen with the catapults at the bottom of the map. The camp that they took previously before the fight was definitely quite helpful here. But it's not really threatening game yet, but it allows for a potential backdoor. But with only 3 heroes on the map, you really don't want to jump into that yet. But they could maybe buy themselves a little bit more time. Odin is upgraded, and with 17 points on the board, is there going to be an engage? They can't lose a hero now. It's honestly, they're playing this a bit risky. I like the dodge on the arrow, but ETC, I mean, why? Why? It's like, sometimes I don't understand what's happening. Honestly, some of these plays are Wood League level. You can't really, I mean, I'm trying to be polite here, but that's Plastic League. You have 2 heroes down, and it's long death timers because we're 18 minutes in, and you just simply run into the opponent, trying to be cool and play the game on the edge. You get locked down, and now they have another hero down for 45 seconds. It's like, seriously? So, yeah, we are in Throw City right now. So, Funz is currently trying to pressure the bot lane a bit to force a reaction. But if he now dies too, that would be a nightmare. It's 20 versus 20. That in and of itself is already bad enough. So a lot of the advantages that they played for are pretty much gone. But yeah, Sonya is alive and will be for a little bit more. But let's not forget that there's a big push coming through the top lane. Now with 12 against 8 kills and them already going for the forward, ETC isn't there yet, so you can't really help with the defense up to this point. They're still sitting in the middle of the map trying to push those catapults out, but eventually should make their way over. Hanzo did not go into play of the game, so he doesn't have a pseudo global, he goes for bullseye. But that keep is likely gonna fall. There's the arrow, gets cleansed out as Malfurion does his job. But the keep is pretty much toast. I mean, that's not going to survive. This is all of a sudden a game where they are in danger of losing the map. It's 74% on Perfect Gem's core, but Team ReGen needs to be a bit careful with this. So at this point, there's another Pyroblast. This time doesn't really do anything. Even nano boosted, you can't kill a full HP Malfurion. You get close, but you can't quite kill him. If they can keep them at the top a little bit longer, the bot lane might actually win the game for them. ETC, okay, misses out. Doesn't really get a lot done with the mosh pit here. Was hoping to lock someone down. But let's not forget, there's now double catapult and also the minions on it. So if they can just prevent them from coming back, this is going to do a lot for them. Nobody is Hearthstoning back. Well, one is Hearthstoning back, but they're already starting to lose shields. The catapult over here is just YOLOing around, not going for the core. So this is pretty much an F. Doesn't even try. Doesn't even get an A for effort. There's 0 effort involved. That catapult didn't even try. I mean, that catapult driver is going to be fired immediately. Whatever you pay him, it's too much. Top lane is in a very similar spot now. 64% of the core of the red team side, but the blue team needs to take this one down too, and Sonya is the one to deal with it. Up towards the top, they steal the camp, alright. Malfurion with the root at the side is helping out with that. There's the arrow. Right through the middle. Right through the middle. And, well, there we go. 55,000 and 56,000 right there. Okay. Top side, there we go. Yeah, you need to keep those catapults in check. But I mean, they have their own catapults top side now, sporadically. They have at least taken the fort down, is what I'm trying to say here. It's a little bit of a weird one. It's probably going to center around the next objective, but given how far ahead the blue team was, this is way closer than it should have been. They definitely misplayed a couple of steps after being incredibly dominant for huge periods of this map. They had the 1-0 lead in the series, but now we're going off to the next potential team fight, which is probably going to center around the objective at the bottom of the map once it spawns. And of course, if the blue team wins this one, then game's over, since the bot lane doesn't have a keep anymore, and that would move the Punisher straight up to the core. So this is why they are very heavily centering their attention around the shrine already, and trying to get the better position here. Okay. And let's see. I mean, the two teams are right now playing pretty much on eye level at this point. But that's not how all of this started. Now it's 22 versus 22 in levels. Okay, Sonya, Wrath of the Berserker, used immediately. Shrine is activating. And it's time to shine now. This is the moment. Oh, okay, there's the arrow, and the pyro is not gonna get the kill. Even... yeah. No way. Not happening this time. Hanzo! ETC is down. Hanzo got nearly eliminated, but he actually survives. And now the Riptire doesn't do it. Oh my god, it's Tychus who gets the final hit in against Hanzo. Yep, 4 versus 4, but no frontline at this point. Sonya's the only one, by the way, that hasn't died yet. The nano-boosted Pyroblast hasn't really done a whole lot to Tychus, so he's still firing away, and he has his level 20, so they're trying to get the lead here. Catapults are slowly moving through the bottom of the map, but it's obviously an easy defense for Perfect Gems if they just rotate some of that AoE damage towards the lane at some point. But off we go. 15 against 10. It's pretty close. Very close. But the red team is suffering a bit, especially since Junkrat is just shelling away from the backline and gets those grenades dropped into the choke point and puts him into real pressure, especially against Urel right now, who's taking most of the hits here at the front. Malfuri needs to be a little bit careful that he doesn't get flanked either, but they're doing a fantastic job zoning them out and take therefore a massive lead also on the objective with now 32 against 19, and that's going to be an objective. Should even wait. I honestly would have taken that a little bit later. ETC is already there, but if you wait another 3-4 seconds, allow Malfurion to tap, allow ETC to come in, then you have a bit of a better coordinated attack going for you. So now ETC has to catch up with this. Should have probably stayed at 39 for just 4 or 5 seconds before they grab it. I mean, either way, it's going to be a difficult push to stop, but they need all the coordination that they have, because the turnaround is always possible. Get wiped here and the opponent can move to the top lane and end it. But there we go. With 64%, there's pretty much no chance. They go for the insta-kill. Oh! Holy shit! 3 kills! Nano boosted Pyro with 3 fucking kills within a second. Everybody clusters up. Jojo says thank you. And that's an insta triple kill. Sonya is down. ETC is saying, like, do I have to do everything on my own? Goes for the core. They're gonna lose the game regardless. But oh, holy hell, what an attempt at a defense here. Perfect Gems with a perfect setup for just a second. But Team ReGen takes the 2-0 lead in the best of 5 series. GG, well played. Okay, game 3. Well, in the last game we learned how to make a Pyroblast semi-useful. The key is you have to drop Anna's ult every single time on Kalthas to give it some value at least. And that kind of works. But, well, as we're heading into game number 3, there's no Kalthas, there's no Anna. We have Team ReGen with Porgy on Anduin, Funz on Leoric, Noah on Tychus, Troy on Sylvanas, and Hocho is playing Johanna. On the right side of the map, Perfect Gems with Imperius on Valamar, Very Day on Oriel. We have Unaverted on Vala and D-Rec on ETC with PogX on Jaina. Can't get the Fire Mage? Well, go for the cold version, the ice version, the Ice Princess. But as we're heading into our third game, keep in mind that this is actually potentially even the last map. It depends a bit on the performance of Perfect Gems now. They had a couple of good moments on map number 2, but they're 0-2 behind in the best of 5 series, so they need to go for a reverse sweep if they want to win this whole thing. And the two teams were actually incredibly close as this game is being played, so when it comes to the standings, they're really neck or neck, so every single map that you can secure for yourself really matters, and if you can win the match, of course, it helps even more. But in this case, we have the Auriel plus Vala combo that in and of itself is obviously already great. But you also have that burst damage from Jaina that is going to come in quite handy if ETC and Imperius can sync up their stuns a little bit later. If Auriel gets a wall stun with that, it would be great too. But right now, Auriel has another problem with her hands, and she's getting chased pretty heavily. Is able to stay alive though, so obviously kudos to her already. Leo and Johanna mean that there's a ton of wave clear for Team ReGen. That should definitely not be ignored, but at least the rotation for now is a little bit stronger. And oh, Sylvanas. She gets nearly murdered by unaverted. And now going in for a near killer to Johanna, but thankfully for her, Anduin is paying attention. The guy has no fucking idea how to handle a sword, but at the same time he's doing a quite decent job when it comes to saving targets with his trade, so there's that. Went on level 1 for Renew, so no bold strategy here, but off to the races we go. Up to the top lane. Yeah, I mean, they're splitting now completely. It's only one team that's really rotating with 4. The other team is just trying to react to it. We have a bit of action at the bottom of the map, but of course we also see a move for the Siege Giants, and I think that the red team is currently sniffing that out as is. So nobody's really moving in for it, and we have a few more heroes on the blue team side now centering to the top lane, since they want to make sure that if there is an engage towards Sylvanas, that they can help out. But up to the top, there's just simply the idea of pushing this out as much as they can with the help of Jaina, and at the same time also... Oh, that's a kill. At the same time, also attempting to take their own bruiser camp. This is a big problem, by the way. With the only hero in the bot lane now gone, that means that Tychus, Sylvanas, and the Siege Giants have a bit of a shot of dropping one of the towers, which is exactly what happens here, without any resistance whatsoever. So that's a really, really nice setup for the blue team. That's a really decent one. There's not a lot of gems that were actually lost, which surprises me a little bit. I think Imperius only lost 5. And since he himself hasn't turned anything in yet, he must have been zoned out a little bit from Leoric on the bot lane to not get all of those. By the way, the bigger they are, thankfully, again, as the level 4 talent for Tychus. And it's actually interesting to see more Tychus here. Again, his... ooh, that's a nice kill. Anduin down, that was a good one, and they're even trying for a bit of body block and stun action against Noah on this Tychus, but they can't quite drop him. But yeah, Tychus is played more and more apparently in an A, and it's interesting because one of the problems that he always had hasn't been changed. I mean, his auto attack range is still incredibly small, which means you really have to go deep if you want to participate in these fights, and that of course exposes you to coordinated attacks quite a bit. Kill for each team now. Turn in. There's enough gems on the blue team side. Red team doesn't have enough yet, but that should change soon. Yeah. Oh, if that whip hits him into the tower, he's most likely toast. But gets whipped through the gate. Lucky for him. Yeah, they opened that gate really quickly. They already saw what was happening. It was like, open the gates! And Tychus goes through and then they close it quickly again. So that was important. If they wouldn't react that much, like, I mean, Tychus owes those guys that... the guards at the gate, he owes them like a keg of beer, for sure. So level 7 talents, that brings us even more wave clear. Arsenal is now in, also a little bit more of a shotgun attempt here with the Ice Lance on level 7 for Jaina now. And still everybody trying to turn in, 36 against 34 gems already gotten rid of. And both of the teams are trying to get the first Web Weaver wave. And that is something where especially Sylvanas can of course then help out to get even more damage in. Funz is already sitting at the bottom together with Noah, trying to also protect this turn-in spot. Yeah, it's all about turn-in number 1. And the blue team is so far doing a bit better. If they get a good push and enhance that with Sylvanas, maybe get a kill in the process, they could do serious damage to those structures. There it is. This time the wall stun is in, but they still don't get the kill. The blue team also gets the Web Weavers. Oh my god, are they actually going to lose heroes now before that comes down? Ah, apparently not. Okay, they make it out, but close call. Yeah, that could have been horrible. It's already bad enough as is. Going up against the Web Weavers now with Sylvanas starting that push even stronger. That's going to be difficult. But yeah, they would have lost a few heroes here. That would have been a disaster, for sure. Okay, so top side. That's where the two tanks are now going up against each other. Obviously, Johanna has the advantage of having the additional wave clear that allows her to get the web weaver escorted towards the gates themselves. Bit of a move into the middle of the map as the bot lane gets pushed. Yep, Sylvana's already shutting that down. And top side, there's still enough pressure to put the ReGen into a bit of an awkward position as he's trying to defend this solo. Jaina's sitting in the middle, doing her thing there. But at the bottom of the map, the entire wall has already been opened up through those siege giants that they took early on in the game. And now they can easily go for not only the fountain, but also attempt to drop that fort itself. As 4 heroes already focusing on it, and thanks to Jaina, they have the oomph behind the burst damage to get those web weavers destroyed quickly. But this is a lot of damage to structures regardless. Entire wall in the top lane has fallen, the middle, the gate at least has been destroyed, and at the bottom of the map, as we could see, the fort has also taken some serious damage. But now we're looking more so towards the level 10 abilities, and then of course a lot of these combos are potentially up on the map. So that's going to be something to keep in mind. Valamar, Weary Day, and Unaverted are now taking also the siege giants, and the early level 10 for the team. So that's already nice. Okay, in comes the angelic armaments. Bit of aggression is in. Resurrect as well. No ring. Get the water elemental. But here we have level 10 now for both sides. Alright, stage is set. With that we have Entomb, which I'm pretty grateful for, to be honest. It's North America after all. Good save again from Andrew. Nicely done. That was an important one. That could have definitely been the end of Johanna. It's Leo that falls, though. Leo goes down, loses a few gems in the process, and that's the opportunity that the red team needed to get their own web weaver wave descending. So they start the turn in, and here we go. Web weavers assemble. Yep, 2 kills against 1. They're really trying to fight back into this. Again, they need to win 3 in a row now if they want to make a victory in this series happen. But even a single map win, or 2, would already be a big win for the standings. But let's see how much momentum they can actually get out of this one. There's no real disadvantage right now in experience or anything. It's 2 kills against 1. But there's the attack at the bottom of the map. The 2 solo laners are still going up against each other. A lot of the push power is now assembled in the middle of the map as they're trying to take at least the wall down. ETC is rotating in for this too. The blue team is defending the top lane mostly. Yeah, but this wall is definitely falling. Both of the towers are down, and the fountain has already dropped the shield, so that should be an easy one. Yep, fountain is gonna fall. And they get a lot of damage in here, as ETC is actually still securing the side. There's no flank possible right now. Johanna tried for a second. That web weaver needs glasses, completely missing the fort here. And, I mean, it wasn't even close. There is the... Oh my god! Yeah, Jaina, I'm sorry. Oh, the heal! Don't tell me, no. It's finally Tigers who takes her down. But holy shit, that was actually fantastic. Weary Day, did you guys see that? Not only the heal that came through, but also when he used the whip, just pushed the target away. That was great. Now they're trying to go for Anduin. He is still alive, though. Unaverted is YOLOing it a little bit. If you have 36 gems, you should probably not vault forward. I would probably counsel to be a bit more cautious about an aggressive move like this. Anyways, with them now getting the kill against Sylvanas in, and even a bit more after that, we have the second fort about to be dropped. They took the one in the mid lane down with the help of the web weavers, but that at the top, whew, that's taking a lot of damage too. And they are now in a great spot. They took a couple of opponents' heroes down. Gems were lost, so now they have actually a lead, and they are the only team that can get a web weaver wave at this point. Level 13 talents are also in. That gives them an advantage. And there's a slide, there's a push, and that's a dead Johanna. Johanna is dead, the fort is gonna fall, and now they can turn in, of course. And that's even more gems lost on the side of the blue team. Momentum, baby! Imperius at the bottom of the map got wrecked, though. Didn't see that rotation coming. So Imperius is dead. They still have the gems for the turn-in, but it's 13 versus 13 now. But as you can tell, the boss is not going to be contested anytime soon. Nope. Going to be taken 100%, even with Johanna coming back. And slowly but steadily, we see quite a bit of momentum in this game being held by perfect gems. I mean, honestly, you would expect that they do a lot of work here, right? I mean, they're literally called perfect gems, okay? if a map is all about the gems and you're called perfect gems, you would expect the team to do well here. So if there is a turnaround or a comeback map for them, then it would be this one. I mean, that goes without saying. So I think you already picked up on that very early on. But there's a bit of a home advantage that they have. Russian teams are stronger on Volskaya Foundry, as we all know, or Alterac Pass, because it's a winter map. They're kind of used to this. And perfect gems are, of course, fantastic on this one. The French would have an advantage on any map where the goal is to run away a little bit quicker. That's just what it is. And if there's a map that really rewards you for being super punctual, that's the Germans. They would be great there. And of course, every single map where Panzer is great. But with all of that said, and I mean, that's basics, right? So we have to go over that every now and then. Usually it isn't really worth mentioning, but I think every now and then we have to actually drop the knowledge here too. So knowledge bombs today, a couple of PSAs, you're welcome. But with that said, 3 kills against 5, and they're now all starting to move topside, with the exception of Leo, who's literally the only one who's like, yeah, well, I kind of have to defend all of this. Now it's an early boss, so this one didn't really do a whole lot. But it allowed the web weavers to travel towards those gates, and the one at the bot lane is completely ignored. That's going to drop the fort, but here in the middle, if they can open up the second wall of the keep, that would already be a small victory for them. Set the stage for the later phases of the game. Sylvanas is down, and Oriel saves Imperius. She is a beacon of hope. And ETC is a party animal and always has been. He might die here, and he actually does, but they were hoping to at least get the counter kill against Tychus. Spoiler, they didn't. So now we have with 16, at least a frost shot for Vala. A bit more range poke that they can now use. But let's go. Down at the bottom of the map. Yeah, that's, again, Fort was taken down by the web weavers. 16 against 15, 7 kills against 4, gem count. 51 against 26, so there is a potential objective that could be claimed by Team ReGen. But they need to turn in for this, and without level 16, I don't really think that they're going to go for that fight. That's not really a fight that you want to take, to be honest. 35,000 for Vala, we have 24,000 for Sylvanas. And here we go. Leo comes in with the light bomb again. That's the Entombment 2. And there's the kill against... Oh, Sylvanas and Tychus. They're starting to lose the gem here. Hocho picked up most of them, but he's in trouble. He's trying to actually save Anduin, and he can't. Guys, if they drop him, that's 42 gems. That is 42 gems. If he goes down, if they grab him, then it is lights out. And oh my god, he makes it out of harm's way. Holy shit. The keep is falling anyways, but that would have been more or less the end of the game. I can promise you that much. But Johanna getting away there, that was a huge help. Seems like they're actually trying to go for the game. Oh my god, and that's 20 gems lost. And look at Johanna. Race car Jojo is like, 62 gems. I got it, boys. The problem is that they are, in the meantime, losing the core since the red team just said, okay, we're done with this shit. And they're going straight in for the finish. And it seems like they're going to get at least one map in this series. Yep. Vala dies. Imperius, the defense. 3%, 2%. And it's game. Perfect gems with a victory on map number 3. And they at least put 1 point onto the scoreboard here in this best of 5 series. GG and well played. The comeback has begun. Perfect gems. Able to win at least one map in the best of 5. Now we're heading into map number 4, Dragonshire. And on the left side, it's getting a little bit wild here. I mean, look at Team ReGen. They have Funz on Zamuro, Porky on Morales. Yeah, Mocus Morales, baby. Hocho is on Mal'Ganis. We have Noah on Kira. And Troy on Gul'dan. Whereas on the right side, Unaverted on Vala, Veryday on Oriel, D-Rec on ETC, Valama on Dehaka, and Porgex on Falstead. Now guys, I don't really know what's going on here, but the comms are a little bit wild. So, the red team walks away with all the globals, including ETC, and has again a combo with ETC, Vala, and Oriel. Why is ETC part of that combo? Well, pretty simply because he can create a lot of space and has an additional stun outside of simply using the face melt here to create that space to secure Vala, which makes a perfect hyper carry. Talking about carry, I mean, they're carrying with the drag on Dehaka already as they get the first kill on Mal'Ganis. That was a nice start into all of this. But yeah, the combo between Oriel, Vala, and ETC has been a true and tried one ever since, I want to say 2016? 2017? Something like that. So they have a fantastic format. They have a double global, so they can pretty much run every single macro aspect of this game if they do it properly. And I would be a little bit scared. And then you have Morales, which is like a... Yeah, I mean, honestly, outside of Storm League Fiestas, Quick Match Fiestas, and, well, Wood and Plastic League, Morales isn't really all that great. Unless, of course, you want to go for some backdoor strategy. She has definitely some serious problems, and especially in this case, I would say she is going to struggle a little bit there. But we're going to find out if that combo is coming through or not. Samuro is, of course, always a little bit of an X-factor whenever he can make it into the later stages of the game. But generally speaking, just looking at these lineups, there's a big question mark that I have whenever I look towards Team ReGen. Whereas for Perfect Gems, this looks like a very solid foundation to maybe get a second win in this best of 5 series and force game number 5. But obviously we're getting slightly ahead of ourselves right now, so let's just see how it plays out. For now, we have, as you would expect, Dehaka versus Samuro topside, and Dehaka is currently doing pretty well there. Okay, Samuro's already dead. Noah tries to get the kill here, but, well, Kira is not able to get anything done, so that's a kill. That's 2-0, that's an early level 4, so now that Samuro has fallen, bot lane is also in a really nice spot. That combo with Oriel and Vala always allows you to be aggressive. Dehaka takes the top shrine, which means we have now 2 shrines taken. The bird is already trying to grab it, and barely interrupted. Very close call here by Mal'Ganis. Nicely done by him. I mean, that was clutch. That was really clutch. And it seems like Pork X is going for the exact same build that he already played in the first game. You know, because it went so incredibly well when he did Kappa. Nah, jokes aside, obviously it's still a valid build to go for, but in this case I would at least go for Boomerang. If he feels that he's gonna try and get the extra global value in. But again, Lightning Rod build is fine as well. Oh, talking about kills, talking about arrows, talking about the setup at the bottom of the map, where we have a quick kill against Gul'dan. That's also a problem that Porky is going to have here, because whenever ETC comes in and uses a face melt, that healing beam is going to stop, and that is oftentimes the end of the hero that you're trying to heal there. So ETC can be one of the heroes that puts a lot of pressure onto that particular setup. Now, with level 7 talents soon coming in, we have 3 kills against 0 now. It's obviously still a ring around the rosy play over the shrines in an attempt to out-micro and out-rotate your opponent. Talking about out-rotating, Noah comes in on Kira and be like, whee! Yeah, trying to like sweep around there. But with the camp now claimed at the bottom of the map, that means that there's a spell aura coming their way, and they can definitely push this a bit more aggressively. There's level 7, of course, too. Now we have the repeating arrow. They're already moving into the middle of the map. Falstad has again gone into the full-on Lightning Rod build, including the level 7 talent with the charged up. But as Dehaka takes the top, there's a chance for the Dragonite to be claimed in the middle. Problem is that ETC is all alone here, because Falstad has decided to go topside and help Valamar to push this. I would like them to play around the global a little bit more. I mean, you can literally just stay with 2 heroes at the top and push Samuro in, and then at some point fly down if there is a need for it. So using those globals to rotate around the opponent might not be a bad idea here. Bottom lane is where we have our 2 versus 2 setup. Falstad is now trying to get few additional camps on the right side. Stacks, of course, are slowly coming in too, which means that on Vala we at least have 6 stacks. 12 for Gul'dan on the Echo Corruption on level 1. Yep, in the middle of the map there's also a bit of an aggressive play between the 2 tanks here. Whereas the top lane is still dominated by this setup. And honestly, this is where I want to see Falstad, for example, fly in every now and then. I mean, right now there is still Kira around. Yeah, there's a move down at the bottom of the map as they're trying to go for Mal'Ganis. And, well, the whip misses. He's able to get out. It's a little bit one of the things that I'm currently missing a little bit from the red team, considering that they have 2 globals. They should definitely play with those globals a little bit more. I mean, if need be, you can literally just burrow Dehaka down to the bottom of the map for a quick drag, and if they are in danger of losing any experience topside before he moves back in, they can always use Falstad to simply take over with a quick fly. So those rotations would help them a lot, but right now they're pretty much not using any of these global aspects. Now it's of course going to become even more important when we have level, the late game, I don't know, 16, 20, and there's a few forts that have been taken down, then you have even more wiggle room, more space on the map. But even in the early game, you can set yourself up for a lot of kills here. This is a really nice one, by the way. That was more so Kira miscalculating her odds a bit, didn't see ETC coming. But that's now level 10 in their favor too. There's a bit of a drag, but yeah, the Haka is still holding the line here. And with level 10 and Eeg is now in, they are just easily going for the Siege Giants, taking that, no Resurrect in this case. We have also the Rain of Vengeance, Isolation, the Mighty Gust, and ETC, as I said before, can even go Stage Dive. They have 3 globals now. I mean, they literally have 3 globals at this point. So, start using them. That would be my hot tip here. At least a few of them. But with level 10 abilities, let's get... Yeah, they go aggressively for the bot lane, and that's a kill against Khaldor. 5 kills against 0. What happened here? First game, second game. Team ReGen pretty much dominated, and now all of a sudden they're on the receiving end of a beating here in Dragonshire. So 5 kills against 0 and constant pressure. Bot lane with the Siege Giants is now in serious... Yeah, in serious trouble. I mean, they are most likely going to lose this fort if there's a bit more pressure against them. Falstad is sitting in the middle. We have Dehaka up at the top. And ETC comes in to attack Mal'Ganis a bit. Yeah, Falstad can help out with that now too. And is trying to do exactly that. Bot lane is still being aggressive. A bit more damage in. And there we go. Okay, Horrify has level 10 abilities on both sides. No Stim Drone, by the way. Medivac. I don't really know what's happening here. Is that the new backdoor strategy? Are we gonna see some Juice Pirate variation that I've never seen in my entire life? It seems like an odd one, to say the least, but I want to see what they're gonna do with this. It seems like a bit of a... I mean, this is a bit YOLO. And now we have a 6 kill in the hands of Perfect Gems. Make it 7, and maybe even 8. ETC comes in with the stage dive, misses the mark slightly, was trying to cut the path of retreat off, I would assume. Falstad is actually flying into the middle, but it was going to be interrupted by Porky. So Morales is the one who has to interrupt all of this shit. But now this might honestly be a kill. 13 talents are there, that gives him another advantage, and Mal'Ganis is, well, making it actually out. The Dragonite is still going to be taken though. Yes, nobody is going to stop that. So we have a Dragonite, 7 kills against 0, and yeah, that seems to be the end of at least 1 or 2 forts. F for effort, baby. Setzen 6. 7 kills against 0, didn't even try. So, like, I don't know. They are getting a bit murdered here. Okay, she's kicked back to Wakanda. Now we have 25,000 damage for Samuro, 26 on Vala. It's always interesting when your solo laner is the one that has by far the most damage. It just means that the one-on-one lane was extremely brawly. You got a couple of free damage in on that. Now, we still have Morales, hasn't died yet, is the only one on that side that hasn't really been murdered, but with the first fort now down, Dragonite could still get some value in the middle of the map, get just that Dragon's Breath through, make it happen there, and in comes the next kick. So, yep, Falstad, of course, needs to be a bit careful once he drops out of the Dragonite so that he can move back, and that's exactly what he's trying to do right now. But the setup is here, and yeah, well, let's go. That's still fine. Dehaka says hello. I can't really do too much. Yeah, now the map opens up a bit. I mean, as I said, if you push the bot lane, for example, if your opponent is at the top and you know that you're not going to get ganked, then you can definitely do that. 13 talents on both sides, which gives us now also Shukuchi. And the second opinion. You should always get that, by the way. The second opinion is invaluable. D-Rack moving out, as the rest of the red team is just continuing this entire play. They're dominating the map, they're dominating the camps, they're going from one spot to another. I would still love for them to finally start using their globals a little bit more impactful. So far it really seems that they are not really playing with globals. Ah, there's the Horrify that saves Hucho. Mighty Gust to save them a bit more space and isolate Mal'Ganis a bit more. Yeah, good heal so far too. Samura is trying to move out, and, well, off we go. If that stun connects, Morales might be in trouble. Not quite. They push through that. Here's the stage dive, not the stage dive, the power slide. Stage dive is still up, so that could be used too. But they go for Morales. Yeah, focus Morales, baby. That's exactly what they do, and that's how you win these games, don't you? Now it's level 16. That's another kill. We're looking at 9 kills against 0. Make it 10. Make it 11. Oh my god. I mean, they are getting absolutely crushed. I don't know if Team ReGen lost a bet that forced them to play game number 4 with one hand tied behind their back, or what's going on here. But this isn't even close. Not even closer. 11 kills against 0, 16 against 13, and goodbye keep. So the keep is down, and honestly, on their way back, they could just rotate into the middle and take that one too. Could have just simply moved in for this. And it's kind of impressive, because I would still argue that they could have used those globals way more effectively. I mean, way more effectively. I mean, just think back to the times when you saw, for example, Dignitas or Fnatic just execute constant rotations with a double global on the map, setting up ganks and just like rotating around. If something anywhere close to that level would have been executed here, the blue team would have been in a worse spot than they are, and they are already in deep shit. So 3 levels behind, not a single kill for them just yet. The only thing that Team ReGen can hope for at this point is a kill or 2 or 3, so that they can close that experience gap quickly. Well, maybe they get the first one against Valamar. I feel like on... Oh, isolation. They didn't even miss, get pushed out. There's the Gust. That's an A play right there. Gust be in trouble and then get wrecked. But he's able to move away. The doesn't. Finally, a dozen kills and 0 counter kills. Nah, but that's the NA play right there. Also, medevac value. Oh yeah, baby. And there's another Dragonite. Dragonite is taken by ETC. Stage dived into the middle and said like, okay, boys, let's go. Alrighty. Yeah. Manticore, by the way, again. I'm a happy panda. Vala players on the North American side are actually starting to take fantastic talents on her. It was like 1 week or so where we casted, not exclusively in NA games, but a lot of them, and I think I've seen one Manticore pick, which was very frustrating. But yeah, now of course a bit of a different setup. I mean, either way, there's still a 3-level advantage. There is of course an upside for Team ReGen, now that they're 3 levels behind. Your underdog bonus in experience that you get when you kill a hero is fantastic, so all they need to do is just wipe the opponent's team to come back into this. Easy, right? Okay, that's a fort finally down. I'm honestly asking myself if they could have just simply gone for core here. 13 minutes in, maybe a little bit early, but with a 3-level advantage and a talent lead, maybe. After they also got the kill in. So they're going through the middle, and that is another wall destroyed. Another 7 seconds on the Dragonite. Shouldn't really get them much. Gul'dan dead again. 5 times already, and Mal'Ganis follows. Unbelievable. What happened to Team ReGen? They got 2 good wins in. Granted, on Infernal Shrines, they definitely had a couple of moments where it was a bit questionable, the decisions that they made, but right now they're just getting taken apart here. This is looking like it's a completely different series. Yeah, I love these synergy screw-ups, by the way. The perf... He tried to cast him, didn't he? And Porky was simply, nope, and moved away from it. Samuro is dead. Guys, it's 16 kills against 0. That's a perfect game right there. They're getting a perfect game here. Unless Valamar now starts feeding or something, or maybe unaverted, this is going to be a perfect game. Can they get at least one? There's the gas, there's the stage dive. They're going for it. Another whip to the face. Medivac value is in, and that is game. What a slaughter. Seriously, perfect gems able to force game number 5 in this best of 5 series. Ready for the reverse sweep, apparently. All right, last and final map coming up right now. The final map. Time to crown a winner. Alright, let's see if Team ReGen could recover from the beating that they received on the last two maps, and if Perfect Gems can make it a reverse sweep after all, or if the blue team recovered at last and is now able to claim victory in the best of 5 after all. On the left side, Porky on Malfurion, we're on Towers of Doom, and Funds on Blaze, Noah on Kalthas, we have Troy on Sylvanas, and Hocho on ETC. Yeah, he likes his ETC play. To the right side, Perfect Gems with Unaverted on Reyna, Weary Day on Stukov, we have D-Rek on Johanna, and PogX, CPX on Lulnara. Bambi is back, Valama on Dehaka, and off we go. Final map. Teams more or less reduced this entire series to a best of 1, if you want to look at it this way. And let's see. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I honestly don't know what happened on the last map. The draft was weird alone. I mean, who thought about drafting Morales there? That just seems weird. I mean, the Samuro pick is already a little bit strange, but then at least get you sometimes value if you just have a decent setup. But that entire lineup was very, very odd. Despite the fact that I would have really, really loved to see the red team play a little bit more with their globals than they did, but obviously they had a blast in that last game, and that was a huge confidence boost now too. Nearly a kill against Reyna, by the way. And of course, the setup that we now see with ETC, Malfurion, and Kalthas is actually a pretty sweet one if you're trying to gank and get some kills. Back in the days, you would play ETC and Kalthas all the time because you go power slide into gravity laps and you can just lock heroes down 6 days to Sunday. If you also throw in Malfurion with that mix and you execute those cooldowns properly, you have an intense CC chain that allows you to get a lot of damage through. Now there's some mitigating factors on the other side, like the Iron Skin on Johanna and of course Stukov with the silence. But there is still a huge argument to be made that this composition can, especially when it rotates, do serious damage. It is always a threat to a lot of these heroes you can see here right now. And there's gonna be an attempt to make exactly that happen. Already a bit of a power slide. This time that one didn't connect, but at least they get the follow-up gravity laps in and some serious damage. Porky is suffering slightly against that Stukov though. And here comes Lulnara. And again, very likely we're going to see the level 7 talent again. I mean, if we're talking about this, Splintered Spear is not really popular in North America. We've seen actually Lulnara play just the other day on, I think it was Battlefield of Eternity again, where we've now sometimes seen the hero in Europe. Rarely, but it happens. And there again, Splintered Spear was the choice. But now that we have level 4 talents, first of all, Nature's Culling is in. Also the Biotic Armor now. Fight or Flight for Jimmy, so that's going to help him quite a bit. But there's already the attempt to turn the entire fight around against Kalthas, and there's the kill. 1 for 1. Stukov down, Kalthas down 2. Unaverted gets locked into the ground and gets taken apart. Another big indicator, by the way, on level 1 here, the ace in the hole. Don't see Jimmy a lot these days, but again, this is the talent to take. No, Exterminator is not a good talent. No, even on Battlefield of Eternity, it's not an alternative. And no, stacks are also not good on Jimmy, unless you play a Brawl, then it's a different story. So if you're playing on any kind of serious level, it's all about the ace in the hole, and not about the ding ding ding, as fun as they can be. A bit of an attempt to get at least 2, and here we go. We go for the trade, and the blue team gets an additional channel through, which means 32 against 36 at this point. Okay, so we're off to a pretty solid start. Blue team with a slight lead, nothing too crazy. Bit of a kill exchange here too, 2 kills against 1 overall. As we're heading into level 7, and of course, once that the, let's say, 3rd, 4th objective is appearing, that's normally when the team is when the game is starting to take shape a little bit. But by now, we also now have Burned Flesh taken as a level 7 choice on Kalthas. And in addition to that, the Festering Wounds. And Lulnara, still waiting for her choice here. We're gonna get, nah, I was just about to ask, are we finally gonna get some Splintered Spear here? But no, of course not. In North America, it's all about the Choking Pollen. That's all that NA currently picks. And, well, it's just one of those difference in meta styles that you will see when you compare regions. Which these days, obviously, not really quite as popular anymore. Well, not really. The problem is that you can't play cross-region. It can't happen online. You need offline events for that, and obviously we don't really have any big offline events in Heroes of the Storm anymore. that would allow for cross-regional play. It would be quite fun to see that again. It was always a highlight, but right now we don't have any of that. Yeah, Lunara is already down. Guitar straight to the face and got kneecapped there pretty quickly, but also a lockdown against Sylvana, so she's body blocked. They're still trying to get the killing against Johanna here, and there's obviously a lot more happening as now Reyna is down. That's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of the blue team. If they get the kill against Jojo too, that would be fantastic, but instead they lose Blaze in the fight at the top. But the blue team isn't done yet. They get the lockdown, and that's a kill against Stukov. Malfurion on the run. Porky survives. And Jojo's actually trying to half back here, but yep, that ain't happening. Now with the double shrine active, there is actually a chance that Team ReGen walks away with 2 altars that they're getting right now. So there's a quick lockdown against Lunara again. Malfurion has already channeled the bottom of the map. Yeah, a bit more poke is going on. Noah barely makes it out down here. Oh, Lunara! Yeah, she survives. Yeah, Nara survives, but the shrine or the altar is still up. And half a level, and we're going to see level 10 for Team ReGen. So that's another big one right there. Yeah, down here, bit of a setup against Sylvanas. Not successful yet, but they're still poking around. Level 10 is close. Blaze is getting more experience in the middle of the map. I think the red team has to let this one go. I don't think they have a chance here. There's too much interrupt potential on Team ReGen's side already, and all that Team ReGen has to do is play it slow. Which is more or less what they do right now. So, yep, as Blaze gets the experience in the middle, rotates away from it as the gank is coming in, and here's the level 10 abilities. Alrighty. Oh, Noah! Phoenix! Me likey! Awesome. Yep, we had a little bit of Pyroblast value on Infernal Shrines, mostly thanks to Ana boosting the shit out of it. But now we actually have a real talent. Phoenix is in. Awesome. So, with level 10 abilities on the red team's side, we have an even fight, possible again. Lunara going straight into the Leaping Strike. Thornwood Vines, big fan. Leaping Strike with this setup, probably not something that I personally would really like all the match. Like, the thing is, Leaping Strike is getting better and better and better if you have mobile heroes that go up against you, and that will simply go for it. Like, strong melee assassins, for example. The Leaping Strike is great because it repositions you. You can easily get out. But if you already have a strong front line that protects you, then Thornwood Vines have incredible poke potential and also allow you to burn waves down very quickly. And since there's no Greymane on the other side or Thor or anything, like a Genji that can jump onto you, Thornwood Vines would be really powerful here. Especially on maps like Battlefield of Eternity, if you play Lunara there, Thornwood Vines is insane just simply because you can poke from a distance. Blessed Shield, missed! And there's the quick kill against Sylvanas. Yeah, Phoenix is in and is starting to zone them out, but again was used a little bit late here, and at that point Sylvanas was already dead, so we don't really see a fight all around this. But it's going to be very helpful for the upcoming altars, so just drop that. 36 against 24, that's what we already see here, and everybody is starting to move straight up to the top, or at least Blaze is to get that one locked in. I guess we could see a rotation towards those 2 altars that have just been announced, but traditionally it's just a 1-1 split. Nobody wants to fight on the other side, so that's problematic. And off we go. Hocho. Yeah. His EDC plays so far were actually quite solid, but he needs to be careful. If he rotates in from the side here against a 5-man, then yeah, if that turns against you, the power slide is the only tool that you have to get out of there reliably. That can be a quick problem. But they're actually trying to interrupt all of this. It's 5 kills against 4, and it's a pretty close one up to this point. There's the channel already, but fighting on the opponent's side is always difficult. They can easily interrupt this whenever they want. And bot lane also has taken quite a bit of damage already, so that bell tower is in a bit of trouble. Could be picked later on. Here comes the engage as ETC starts moving in. Needs to be a bit careful here. The slows on Lunara, obviously another obstacle for him to overcome. Bunker is out. Secures the position as well, and Porky is able to get the channel. Okay, they even get the kill, don't they? Yes, Lunara is a bit too far out, and Bambi is as dead as his mom. Okay, there we go. 20 against 32, 13 in their hands. There is momentum for the blue team. Team ReGen, they definitely recovered from the last map. They regenerated, if you so want. So now they're even using Sylvanas to get the control over the bot lane, which is of course the most important one on the map, because you have 2 pumpkin camps that push through the bottom and that can theoretically attack the core directly. So there's always enormous pressure that will force the opponent to have a couple of heroes ready for the defense here. And yep, up towards the mid lane. A bit of a silence attempt on a setup, but is it enough? Oh, close. Clutch escape, but they make it happen. Yeah, pretty nice one. Okay, so with that, oh, Noah. Close. Sylvanas is actually dying a lot. I mean, they get that lockdown against her consistently in and then drop her quickly. Now with 13, we have the virulent reaction. Talking about drop downs and lockdowns, they can lock any target down now even more ferociously, especially after a setup from Johanna, but that can be problematic. Abolish Magic is in, Primal Rage now too. There's of course a little bit of momentum now for the red team as they got that kill just now. Altars are spawning in 23, it's a single one. Still a good position for Team ReGen, no doubt about it. But off we go. Ocho gets attacked, 6 against 5 kills on the map now. No talent advantages, Sylvanas is back. How many times did she actually die? 3 times. Yeah, that is, I mean, that's more than 50% of the deaths that they had. But they reclaim the bell tower. They try to go for Stukovs though. And here comes the Tranquility. A bit more European style as well. Nice, the mosh pit, but it gets interrupted as they're trying to turn it against Jojo. The Blessed Shield comes out and stuns a few of them out. But Dehaka is already channeling. Is going to get interrupted though. A bit of a sneaky attempt here. And the lockdown against Lulnara as well. And that's a kill once more. Yep. Lunara is dead, and with that we have now 7 kills against 5, another shot at an altar, and it's going to drop the core points down to 16. Shots fired, baby. 32 against 16. They have twice the amount of core points than the opponent does. So there's that. With this now happening, they go for the bottom lane again. Yeah, you always want to get that control. And they have 5 heroes right now. Lunara isn't there yet. And they have Sylvanas. I mean, this is the main reason why they picked Sylvanas in the first place. Because you can take down these bell towers without any problem whatsoever. So, this is exactly what they currently do. I mean, yeah. They can go from lane to lane, but as long as you hold the bot lane, you're already in a great spot. They have level 16 talents now. That, of course, is helpful as well. And with that, Will of the Forsaken. That in particular should actually help Sylvanas to stay alive a little bit longer. Will of the Forsaken with that is really a great setup. It's actually really fantastic. Okay, so now everybody is starting to move straight up through the middle of the map to try and gank all of this. They want to force the fight. There is no level 16 talent. If Porky does... yeah. Okay, so he face checks that a little bit too hard and gets punished right away. Should probably not really rush in first, and yeah, that's the end of not only Malfurion, but ETC. That was a fight that they were trying to force before the opponent had level 16, and instead Malfurion gets blown up in half a second, which leads to a second kill, and the boss now taken too. So, yeah. There is that. That's 4 shots fired, 4 unnecessary shots, I might add. Yep, all of those come in. And of course, with the altars now also spawning in another couple of seconds, there's a pretty legit scenario in which the red team walks away with at least 2 altars, maybe even 3. So, yeah, Dehaka is already top right, the rest of them is here in the middle. Blaze is going for the interrupt, and he gets that through. They're getting the one in the bottom of the map. Someone should kind of take care of this, or they will maybe suffer the consequences. But Porky is now in a position where he gets the 5 shots connected, okay. And now that there's a 5 versus 5, guys, this could actually be really bad for Perfect Gems after all now. Yeah, they had a bit of a weird split going on there, and Jimmy is at the bottom of the map trying to defend, so this is a 5 versus 4 at the top lane. Oh, nice! But not enough, nah. Blaze reacted well here. Jet propulsion out of it, but still a great shove that we just saw from Stukov. Nicely done. Yeah, they try to get the channel again. 25 points against 11. Guys, if that one ends up in the hands of the blue team, if Team ReGen channels the altar, then it means we're looking at single digits for Perfect Gems. There's the drag, as they're getting that in, but the position for them is pretty nice still. They're still poking around that. Lulnara, careful! If she gets locked down, she's dead. Well, there's a lockdown attempt. There's the mosh pit, but they're actually too far away. This time, the Tranquility does a little bit more. They go for Lunara, and that's another kill. Lunara down, just too aggressive with the reposition here, too. Now the counter kill against Malfurion. The Arca is dead as well, though, and they're trying to go for Blaze, and he's dead, too. But we still have Kel'Thas dishing out the damage as he gets one Flame Strike connected after another. But ETC is dead. Jimmy is homing in with the damage, one hit at a time. 11 points against 25, and it seems like the red team is finally able to channel the altar up towards the top. Yep, there we go. But this game, for 5th map, it is actually quite funny. It's a pretty decent one. Problem that the red team has is they just lost map control because they lost the control over the bottom bell tower. And in the middle of the map, we have Johanna defending the bell tower as much as she can. Kel'Thas is currently starting to get in a position where he can maybe even defend the bell tower a little bit more, so that it's difficult for the opponent's team to catch this one. But, of course, the pumpkins are coming in, that helps, and you have Jimmy already in. The entire minion wave pushes through and soaks the damage, so that's not a problem. There is comeback potential here, and we've seen comebacks throughout this entire series. So, with Blaze now sitting at the top, the goal is obviously to get to level 20, because a big problem for Team ReGen is, even with them dominating the mid-game, we now have an entire level lead for the red team. So an early level 20 is going to be incredible. Okay, Blessed Shield. Oh, he dodged it! Will of the Forsaken. Troy, look at that. Nicely done. The Blessed Shield comes in, uses the Will of the Forsaken to dodge out on the damage, and gets away. Well played. Really well played here. Okay, so now, level 20, nearly ready for the red team. But maybe a fight before could change this a little bit in the rhythm of this. They're making the play again for Sylvanas, of course, who else? But instead, it's counter damage that we're looking at, and especially the Harka's in trouble. We have Johanna coming in with the Condemn, but the Malfurion ult keeps boys and girls alive. Alike. Level 20 is nearly there. There's one altar spawning in just a few seconds, but there's still no level 20 for Team ReGen. So, okay. In we go. At this point, yes, there's the hit! Mosh pit, and they lose Jimmy! They have the level 20 advantage, but now it's a 5... Well, it's a 4 versus 4. ETC died. They still don't have level 20. Don't tell me they get another kill here. The Flame Strike damage is there, and Sylvanas dives in. Dives out again, but nearly pays with the life for that aggressive play. And they have to tap the fountain. They have to do it quickly or they're going to be in trouble. I think we're going to see the death of Blaze in just a moment. Well, no. Instead, D-Rack procs his Indestructible. And now they have 20. Well, they're going to have 20 in a second. If they can delay this just a little bit more, it will be enough. They're nearly getting a kill in against the Arca, which in and of it's... Oh my god, they actually get it. Nice lockdown from Malfurion here. And then the follow-up from Kel'Thas. This is insane. They actually won the fight, even though they didn't have level 20. Lunara is down 2, and now they have the shots, of course, fire. That's another 4. That's going to be single digits. They're even waiting for it so that they can pick up another bell tower and get 5 shots connected. 66,000 damage on Sylvanas' side, 44,000 for Kel'Thas. 5 deaths on Lunara with a 53k. But here's the connect on the bell tower, and now the channel goes through, which means that there's another 5 shots dropped off the core, and that puts the red team down to 6 core points. And there is still a boss up on the map, which they, in theory, could go for now. They should go for it. Honestly, like, if you don't go for the boss right now, you're doing it wrong. I mean, you have 2 options. Either you go boss, or you go for the additional keeps, the additional bell towers. I could totally accept both here. But that's 4 shots fired right here, which puts the opponent down to 2 points. And that's an easy one, of course, with all the heroes that they have together. And they can still go for the middle and then grab the additional bell tower and trade bottom against mid lane. 4 shots fired, that puts them down to 2. I think we are about to see Team ReGen claim victory in this best of 5 series after all. Maybe no reverse sweep. Looked for a long time as if that reverse sweep was an inevitability, but now there's a chance. Yeah, they didn't go straight into the middle, so they actually lose out on this one. So it's 4 versus 4. But with the 2 shots only that have to be fired, still a good chance for the blue team to make that happen. What the red team now needs is full control. Full control over everything. And, yep. There we go. There's a little bit of a setup. They're trying to slip in. Mosh pit. And the interrupt is there, but it's a little bit late. And that could be a double kill. Oh, Dehaka. The isolation misses. Was nicely dodged here. Was already anticipated. But they barely made it out. I'm amazed that Perfect Gems didn't lose a single hero here. When that flank came in, it honestly looked like they would lose 2-3 heroes. Now we have a double altar. And yeah, this will be very, very tricky for Perfect Gems to control properly unless they get an early kill. So they need to try. But there's the aggression against Jimmy. Is a little bit far in. ETC already making sure that they have a tough time getting those heroes to safety. But he himself gets dragged. And the kill. ETC down. That's exactly what Perfect Gems needed. Their comeback, ladies and gentlemen. Are they going to make it back into the map here? Are they going to gain some control? There's the first altar already channeled through. That's 4 shots fired against the blue team's core, bringing it down to 18. And down here, the interrupts are, of course, coming through. But it's a 5 versus 4, and you don't want to fight that. You really don't want to fight this right now. So we have 12 kills against 12. Dead even. Sylvana's already moving in the middle, and they let the altar go. They wait for ETC to come back, and off we go. So, 12 versus 12, 21 versus 21, and, well, this is getting spicy. It's getting really spicy. But what the red team needs is a little bit more control over lanes by taking down some of these bell towers. Dehaka could help with that. Dehaka, honestly, I don't even know why he goes down to the bottom of the map. He should really start soaking this and push the top lane out so that they get top lane control on the bell tower. He can always burrow back here if he really wants to, so I'm not 100% certain why exactly he's just moving down to the bottom. Of course, the drag is always nice, but use the globe a little bit more, and you're going to have more of a position over your opponent in the later stages of the game. So, let's see. There's our little setup here with the locked. Oh my god, no! Stukov! Oh, they played it well. They were down to 2 points, and then they played it really well around the last 2 altars. But now they lose Stukov. Now they lose Lunara. And oh my god, they're gonna lose even more, aren't they? This is horrible for Perfect Gems. Team ReGen, the mad mosh pit of the cow. Haha! What a setup again. And just look at that aggression here from the blue team. They drop Jimmy. 3 heroes eliminated. They have the bell tower. There's a double altar that has just been announced. And they go for Johanna 2. Indestructible procs. They're trying to get even more damage through. Oh my god. The moonfire to the face as Malfurion just says, fuck it. I'm going for it. And for good reason. Now they can put them into a checkmate position by simply taking, yep, the pumpkins and then move towards the altars. That's all that they have to do here. And it seems like this is gonna be the end. Keltas goes to the left side. Funz is already channeling on the right. And one of them is gonna be successful, if not both. And this is game over. Nice play. Team ReGen with a 3-2 victory over Perfect Gems in a pretty incredible and weird series in Division S North America. GG and well played.